Good evening and welcome to episode 26 of Podcast for Dad. This is me, Bav. This is little man Kalen, new man on the show, main man Jay, and we're joined by D this week.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Boom, boom.
We're all good. We've just got a new recruit this week.
Oh, that's good, man. That's
just
good.
been left with us.
I need everybody's advice I can get.
He's got, yeah, exactly. Mate, he's taking over.
He's got first-hand experience.
You saw the picture with the headphones, Jay, I sent you, right?
Yeah.
Of him, yeah. So he's ready to go. Yeah, there you go. He's gone. It is bedtime, but at the same time, he's like, yeah, might as well just join the show for a bit, see how everyone's getting on out here. Yeah, that's it. He's like, where's Jaden at?
Jaden's having a break, bruv. Jaden's having a break. I'm having a break from Jaden, maybe.
He's had enough of you today. Is that what it is?
That's microphone.
Nah, man. I wouldn't say I've had enough, but we've had a long afternoon.
That's microphone going now.
Oh dear.
That's one thing down. He's
testing.
Next is going to be something else. There you go.
Just testing durability, quality assurance, mate.
That's it. If not, we got a right to them. Kalen, exactly. Time to go sleep now. Good night, Kalen.
What he's saying is, Dad, you haven't rigged this properly. It's not secure enough.
No, look, he's gone. Look.
Doing a bit of testing.
Mic check. He's taking it. Okay, let's go. Let's go to mommy now. Say bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, Kayla.
Oh, that's it.
Say bye-bye.
Wait.
All right, lads. How we doing?
Oh, good, man. Oh, good. That was quite nice. Just good start.
You're saying today, you're sweating yet? Nah, not you. You must be sweating in that jumper, bruv. Jeez.
I change my t-shirt twice a day now. That's pretty much as bad as it's got. To be fair, I don't know, man. I think we've had like a lot of support and stuff, so it's been pretty good so far. It's been a good journey, man. I think we spoke to you guys about 5 months ago, and it's
mate, how quick has that time gone?
It's crazy. I was just saying to them the other day actually, because we were just thinking about like getting this sorted, that sorted, and now we're like, oh, so sorted. Like, what's next? Oh yeah, baby.
What's next. Yeah, that's what's next.
Isn't it?
So what's like? Fill us in. Last 5 months. What have we missed out on?
Wow, because I mean, it's not been the ideal, like going to NCT classes and going to this class and that class. Information's not been at our doorstep. We've had to go and knock on doors and find out stuff ourselves, which has been in a good way. It's been pretty, like we've been proactive ourselves and wanting to know the information that we want to get rather than what's just out there. So we did a couple of NCT classes from Instagram. So we followed.
I was going to say, did you actually get to attend a class then, or was it virtual for you as well?
It's all virtual, yeah. I mean, we did a virtual NCT initial like antenatal class, which was just like a basic, very basic, things like what to pack in your bag, things like what to expect when you go to the hospital, what happens when the water breaks, what's going to happen after that, what should you be doing, and that was pretty early on. I think that was pretty much 4.5, 5 months into the whole process, so that was still fairly early for us. But then
do you still remember any of it?
I do. Me being an accountant, I just literally I had an Excel spreadsheet open and I literally just jotted. I was just writing stuff down on my spreadsheet and just making a list of stuff that we've got to buy. So it just got to a point where I was like looking at my bank balances going down and down and down every single month. Yeah, we know. But it's been really fun actually. It's brought it's brought us a lot more closer than we were before already. There's definitely a point where you've got to work as a team to like figure things out yourself and do things like for
that's just about to begin, mate.
Yeah,
this is where the journey starts. In terms of like you said, buying things and etc. Have you got everything ready now? Is it all been bought? Anything left out?
Everything bought. I mean, there was a point where we're like, well, what else, what do you need? But then, you know, when you do these classes, you kind of realize that there's actually a lot more that goes into it's not just because at first I was like, oh, a bag this small is going to be enough, you know. And then
so let's talk about what you had on that shopping list then, right? Obviously you've got baby grows, you've got some muslins, you've got some nappies. You got
so
any Bepanthen like nappy rash cream and things like that?
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff. Basically, we split the suitcase now rather than a bag into two sections. one is for mum, one is for baby, and my wife is the most unorganized person you would ever meet. But she has.
Fired.
Do you know what I mean?
Luckily, she's in another room, but she has literally.
You do know this is live, right? You know.
Yeah.
You can watch this back.
But there's a big but, right? And that is that she has gone to the extent of separating bags and got label makers, and she's been labeling bags like nightwear, daywear, like toiletries. I'm just like, what? This is.
So what you're saying is now she's being prepared and organized.
She's super organized. This is like I've never seen her like that before. So it's quite nice to be fair, because I've never seen the side of her before. So
generally, is that you? Are you the organized one, and she's the one that's like everything last minute?
I like to think so.
No comment. Let's move on after that. Right? Let's just move on from that, because I don't know about him being organized.
I Look at him looking over his shoulder.
I feel like I am. I feel like I am.
Well, you can't organize holidays. We've established this over the years, so let's leave it there, right?
Yeah. I think that's definitely no.
Jay, he's put us into a 1-star hotel. Like, let's just put.
No, I think it was pushing
star.
2. It was pushing 2. I think it could have got 2.
And you know what enticed him to this hotel was the fact that it had a 24-hour pool. Right, so it was like a
24-hour bar
and a 24-hour club, basically going all hours, all night, like pool party. Mate, you wouldn't even step foot in this pool. Let's put it like that, right?
Yeah. But we were all in it.
I think for 5 days we were fully all in it for like.
Honestly, I'll be honest. Like, if I look back at that now, we didn't sleep because the music was so loud, and it wasn't a club we even went to. I don't even think we even stepped foot in that place, right? But it was so loud, kept us up all night.
Was it cheap?
Yeah. I think, to be fair,
I don't know, for what we paid, it was as far as I can remember, and what we got, I wouldn't call it like value for money. Let's put it out there, innit?
I was just going.
Thomas Cook. They were doing this. I think it was like 25 to was it 21 to 25? I don't even know. It was like a really young age group. Like holidays, and on the flight all you see is people that are your age, so we're like, this is great, man, why not? Got 24-hour swimming pool, what can go wrong? And then we'd go have a shower and come out, and like you'd feel more dirty than you did before going in there. So it was not nice.
I thought you were just going to say it's full of men when you got there.
Well, that's a different story, man. But I think the hotel was as horrible.
It wasn't the best. But yeah, like in terms, obviously, look, managed to get all your stuff ready. You said you've got baby bag, mum bag ready. Key
The question is, have you got your bag? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I did that the other day, but I don't know what it is, but with
okay, men, so what did you pack?
I packed a portable charger, right? Like a decent. I bought like a portable fan, so I got a portable fan, portable charger. Got like some speakers. So. Going back to the question that you asked before, like what we've been up to as well, and this is probably quite a nice sort of introduction to hypnobirthing that we got introduced to ourselves, and it was so good. I mean, I had no expectations of hypnobirthing whatsoever, but so Nim's sister, she introduced us to someone that was doing creating her own portfolio on clients. So we luckily got introduced to her, and we did a 6 weeks intense hypnobirthing course with her, and it was probably the best thing I'd say that we've done in the last like 9 months or so. And literally,
so for the people that don't know, what is hypnobirthing?
I think the best way of explaining it is, there is a lot of like terminology and techniques that the traditional way of birthing whereas the hypnobirthing is a bit more, whereas you try and relax yourself and be very informed, use different kind of terminologies, and you kind of visualize and almost meditate almost to a point where your body is very relaxed when you go into birth, rather than very tense. And because I mean the best way of explaining it is when your body is tense, I think that a really good example is like when you have your hand, and if you tense your hand and you try and move your fingers, like it almost hurts. Whereas if you relax your fingers and you move your fingers, it's quite easy. And that's pretty much like what hypnobirthing is, where when the blood is flowing through the woman's uterus, obviously it's obviously, if it's very tense, it's going to be a lot more painful, is how it was explained to us. And it's just like some of the terminologies, like using like contractions is what a term that's been used by traditional midwives, whereas if in hypnobirthing, you use surges. I mean, for me, that wasn't the important part. I think the fact that there was a lot more information about birthing, and helping Nim more so visualize what she's going to get herself into, how to breathe and breathing techniques, and there was just a lot more context in there, that we have. We did like evening meditations and things like that, which have been really, really useful. So which again, going back to the point about packing bags, so we packed like hypnobirthing like candles and things like that, and just to make whatever we can do, for the birthing moment, really, to just make it a bit more comfortable for her and the way she wants to do it.
So I got a question for you. Generally, like, everyone goes through these classes, things like that, and you're talking about hypnobirthing, all these different things. Just because you've been there and you've had the opportunity to experience this, like, this question's come to mind. But do they talk to you about what to look out for, or signs of, like, preeclampsia is quite a common thing? Do they tell you about those signs and what to look out for? And do they actually prepare you for the event of a C-section or anything?
Yeah, they do. I think what is really good about it is they kind of talk you into getting a birthing plan done. Whether you follow it or not is down to you and on the day. But I think having a birthing plan really helps you do your own research, about what drugs are available. We don't always have to say yes to everything. You have a choice. I think that was a key thing that we got out of it. And that was, like I said, the most crucial part of it, because being informed about a decision that you on the day, if you don't know about it, or if you have done zero research on it, you're going to be like, if you think that's the right thing to do, let's do it. That's what I would have been like, I think, before doing this course. Whereas now I feel like, in the birthing plan, there's a point about C-section, and if that was to ever happen, all the steps that she would like to have, the lady went through all of that with us, which was really, really helpful. And what drugs, again, going back to the drug side of it, I think gas and air is quite common, but there's other things that are there available for you to have,
like the epidural and things like that, and the lasting effects of that and so forth.
Pethidine, those kind of ones.
It was good. Like I said, it was. I think that I did. It was about 2.5 hours every single Wednesday evening. It was after work, and it was a very long day, but it was good. It was like,
you do learn a lot, and you do kind of, and like you said, that's kind of the key, where actually, if you went in there without knowing about any of these drugs, and when you need to take them, or not you, but when your wife needs to take them, and what the side effects are, because when you get in there, they will ask, if you get to that stage where she needs to take something, they ask you to consent to it in the room.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And they will ask them at that point, is she happy to take? But let me tell you, she won't be in that frame of mind of wanting to make that. So you have to have had that conversation beforehand, and then you have to read the terms and conditions which are on there. And I've tried to do that. Let me tell you, it didn't go down well, right? Because she's just like, I need it. Like, it has to be done now, kind of thing, right? But before we went in, she didn't want to take an epidural, or she didn't want any of that stuff. But when it comes down to it, they're like, oh, you have to take it because actually, look, when you were putting you on this drip, it's something you have to go along with it. When it came down to it, she didn't get to take it in anyway, which is what she didn't want in the first place. But they give you a sheet of paper. They're like, these are the terms and conditions basically of it. And are you guys agreeable to taking it, etc. and you have to read them out, and or you have to read them yourself and say, yeah, okay, cool, fine, let's go with it. But without knowing that beforehand and without learning about it, actually you're in a position where you're like, oh, well, what do we do? Oh, if you think it's right, then yeah, fine, go with it. Like you said, right? You're just going to go with what they say because they're the experts in the field.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, to be fair, like what you said, I think in being informed is really important, because like in hypnobirthing, like there is no one else apart from myself that will be dealing with any questions from the midwife. Like, in that sort of frame of mind, Nim has to be breathing and meditating for that whole time. In an ideal scenario, if she's following the birthing plan and it all goes to plan, she's not going to be interacting with the midwife. So I'm going to basically be the one that will need to make decisions for her, take the lead, exactly. And I think that has been that's what's made me do more research into it. Do
you find that it's changed the relationship between you and your partner in the sense that you've got to have a lot more conversation, you've got to have a lot better communication? Like, have you found that after having these courses, it's opened up conversations and things that you guys weren't talking about?
I would say, yeah. I think, like I said, I think at the start of the chat today, I think it's brought us so much more closer in many different ways, and it's like topics that we would never even think about before. I mean, we at the start of it,
bro. Do you know what? Like after the first 2 weeks, the one conversation that surprised me, right, is that this conversation you would never have normally, right, until you have kids. And once you have kids, especially within that first 6 months, is the color of their stool. Like, I'd never imagined that I'd be looking so anxiously or at what color it is and that consistency. Do you know what I mean? And then you have conversations about it, man.
You do.
Like, oh, it's crazy.
It's probably going to get, I mean, you guys have, definitely like obviously a lot more further along the process, and you probably like you must have conversations that you'd never have thought in a million years having with your wife.
No. You know what? Like, a year on, right? Kaylin's a year in what, few days, 5 days now, right?
Yeah.
Those conversations still happen daily,
Oh,
and you're like, oh, well, what was it like, or what came out, and when would you even be having these conversations?
Do you know what I mean? Like, before you be weirded out and like, oh, look, bro, don't talk about it, man. I'm eating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just like, now you talk about while we're eating, and it's like,
He's got his roti and his khichdi in one hand and the question in the other.
That khichdi is not going to look the same anymore.
Do you know what? You say that, yeah? The other day, Reshma gave Jaden like a mild form of bao bhaji, like just the mix. And he loved it, yeah? Like literally every bite, he's like, But then like afterwards, when he dropped his load, she was like, Jesus, this looks the same as it went in, bro.
I can visualize that. It's nice. That's, oh man,
put you off, bro.
Yeah, fully, man. I don't think I'll be having pav bhaji anytime soon.
You put him off his favorite food now.
Yeah, man. Oh, fully.
Sorry, bro, but at least you're prepared, innit?
Yeah, honestly, man. Like I said, this last 9 months or so, the conversations we've had, some of the chats about, what. I mean, I think putting the baby side aside, I think what a woman has to go through in that 9 to 10 months, and not just that, I think she's preparing for what happens after that. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but at this stage of, I think after 36 weeks, you start collecting colostrum and all that kind of stuff, and you start preparing and storing that stuff is just preparation. And then obviously she's now looking beyond that and preparing her body for after, post birthing, things that she's got to do, and the appreciation I have now of what women have to do is just insane. Hats off to them, man. I mean, that's why I feel like I've got to do my bit, which is research or do something to make myself feel a bit more useful.
Mate, he's laying the thick foundations over here, buff, for some brownie points, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've got to do it, man. I've got to do it. I've seen her struggle, man. She's sometimes I can see her struggle to just get out of bed. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna need to give you a hand. I feel so bad.
But
it does happen, though, man.
In terms of preparing yourself, let me tell you from personal experience, there's nothing you can read or nothing you're going to be taught. Okay, we can have conversations, we can speak about things, but everything, even if it doesn't sit with you straight away, as soon as you hold the baby in your hands, like it's all going to come to you. You're all going to know exactly what to do, and you'll be fine with it. Like you're not.
I think the one thing to remember is there's no right way to do anything. Do you know what I mean? Like every baby responds to things differently, and you set your own path as well. Like today, when they were leaving Jaden with me, the one person that was concerned was my mum. She was like, "Are you sure you're going to be all right with him?" And I'm like, "Mum, I'm his father. Like, I'll be fine."
Were you okay though?
Yeah, man. We had a chilling time. Chilling.
Yeah.
Watched on Peppa Pig. We played around a bit. He did some exercise. Do you know what I mean? Fed him. Had a milk session. Chill.
That's it. That's all. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like the thing is, like once you have the baby that in your hands, it all just falls into place. Yeah. Like you said, no right, no wrong. Just do what you need to do. But yeah, no. Like day before, we took Kaylin to see a nursery.
Did you?
It was an experience, man. We just literally left him there, and he was just playing with the toys on his own. Just like not for the day. Literally, while we were walking around, we left him there. He was playing with the toys. It's a new nursery, so there was only a few kids in there.
Right.
And they were napping. So we were like, look, kid, make sure you keep it down, right? And just let these kids sleep. Like, these kids are actually just napping, right? I've never seen.
Kay takes after his dad, isn't it? Bit lad.
But 100%. If he wants to be, only if he needs to be. But he was honestly just sat there playing. Didn't even mind what was going on.
That's good, man.
I was at least you like the environment.
Is this the age where, like, obviously they tend to like want to interact with other kids and want to, because obviously
we haven't had much of an opportunity, right? So we don't know how they would really be around. He's had the odd occasion where he's seen Jaden or seen a few of my friends' kids and stuff, but he's not really had the opportunity where they've, there's a bunch of people together, loads of kids.
That was what I was going to say. When you've got like a family event or a function, have you guys been exposed to it? Like, Barb, have you been exposed to anything like that with Caleb?
Nothing.
Like the other day, my cousin got married and we went in the evening just to wish him like best wishes kind of thing. And no word of a lie, like we got there, we hadn't even gone inside the house. And because it was the first time we were going there with him, my kaki was like doing a blessing at the door. So she'd done this blessing with the water and then she's lobbing the water. And literally, as we're not even walked in the house, we're literally standing outside, bruv. He's in his car seat and he just like bawling, like literally bawling as if he'd seen like someone like murdered. Do you know what I mean? We were there for about 30, 40 minutes, right? And obviously I tried to calm him down. Reshma tried, my mum and dad tried. He wouldn't even go to my dad. Like that's how upset he was and stressed out. Do you know what I mean? So the impact of like these guys being locked indoors for that period of time it makes such a tremendous difference on the way they interact with people. Don't get me wrong, like other people have said, look, it's normal for kids to go through it like this. But like when you have your kid and like you've seen it with your cousins, like people will come around and they're used to like a little bit of noise, a little like a few faces here and there. Whereas he's not used to it at all, man. And it really like it pains you to see it.
There's two sides of it because like obviously I get that our kids are being cooped up for months on end, right? Mine's coming up to a year, not being able to really socialize. But
it's all they've ever known.
Yeah, but in the past, I've gone to family events and functions, etc., where there have been kids who have been out and about, pre the pandemic, and they're still very similar to that in the sense of
but the cries are different, bro.
But that's the thing, right? That's the kind of bit where you're like, oh, okay, you're a bit.
Like, bro, put it this way, we left Kaki's house. We were on the way home. My man fell asleep, but he was whimpering in his sleep, like. Do you know what I mean?
Right? By the whole
literally, like he was so anxious and stressed out, and nothing. Like literally, we took him to one side of the garden. It was just me and him. Like literally, like he calmed down as soon as he sees someone. Like I said, my dad walked up to him for 30 seconds. He was okay. He realized who he was. I gave him to my dad, and he just started bawling. I was like, Jesus, man. Like this is the fun guy, the playtime guy, the one that always makes you smile, and now you're crying with him.
Right?
But I guess everyone's different. I think from like, Nim's got so many nieces and nephews, and we see every single one of them, and you guys probably know better, but every single one of them has their own personality, and
Yep.
depending on what they're used to, they're so wonderful in their own way. I mean, no one is going to be able to he gets.
Well, even Reshma's like, oh, I always told people you're a happy, smiley baby, and when we go out places, you just show me out.
Oh god, yeah, it's
What
good,
can
man.
you
So I'm
do,
looking
man?
forward to it. Looking forward to all those moments.
Have you had the story where people say that the minute you hold the baby in your arms, your whole life changes?
I've heard that from absolutely everyone. I think everyone's mentioned that to me in some way or the other. But yeah, it's
one thing that I'll say, like for me personally, like it started to build up expectations in my mind, like all the things that people had said and things like that. And do you know what? One thing I'll like, from my perspective, forget about what everyone's told you and just enjoy the moment. Like honestly, you'll never get that back. Do you know what I mean? Like just make that experience when you first handed your baby about you two. Do you know what I mean? Like those feelings that you have inside and things like that. Like for me, I had that time with Jaden on my own first, and I literally just sat and made a video recording, and I don't think I've ever shown anyone apart from Reshma. Like, and that was even like 3 months down the line. Do you know what I mean? It was just something for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's pretty special, man. That's quite nice, though. I mean, I guess you're right in a way, because there's a lot of talk about in hypnobirthing and I guess traditional like things that will really happen in a birthing room is as soon as a baby is there, you give the baby to the mum, and then the breastfeeding starts and all that kind of skin to skin and all that kind of stuff that will go on.
That's the thing. That's if it's a natural birth. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I said about the C-section, right? Because if it's a C-section, then it's slightly different. You'll have them remove the baby, and obviously because your wife's still under major surgery, they've got to like continue and finish up the procedure. So they'll get the baby and make sure the stats and vitals and everything are okay. And it might be about 5 minutes before you even get to like hold the baby. Do you know what I mean? When Jaden was born, because we'd said we want to find out the sex of the baby at the same time, they didn't say it. They literally like they'd held a curtain up so we couldn't see like obviously the surgery, but literally they were like, "Are you ready?" They just wave him up. Literally, you blink, and all you're doing is checking to see whether it's a boy or a girl. Do you know what I mean? You're just looking straight at the genitals. That's the only thing that matters at that point. And we both just like literally, he was like flash, and we were just like, "Oh my god, it's a boy!"
Well, to be fair,
she was like, "Did you see what his face looked like?" I was like, "Nope."
Oh god. What did you guys do then for a week before, or did your ones come on the day off?
So for me, it was slightly different. Obviously, Reshma went in at 36 weeks after a midwife appointment, and they said you've developed preeclampsia. We want to keep you in for observations. The next day, they put her, they induced her, and then the next day they were like, "Okay, we're not going to induce you again. We feel like the baby's a little bit stressed out and prohibited in movement, so we're going to take you straight through to emergency C-section." And literally, that was it. He came 4 weeks early. So, it might be
36 weeks. 36 weeks for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
For us, I think Kaden came, a day or two late. That was it. So he was.
But have you guys asked your parents about you guys as well, like to say where how far along in pregnancy were you guys born and like what weight you were born at and things? Have you found that out yet?
Weight wise, I think I was 8 pounds.
Same as you are now.
Still a chunky baby, bro.
Quadrupled.
Still keeping it chunky.
I'm gonna make you a T-shirt that says that. Keep it chunky.
To be honest, I actually don't know if I was on time or late, but going by my timings in life, I'll probably have to say late.
Late.
Do you know what I mean? Like, or I was really early, and that was the first and last time in life, right? That was it.
God.
Well, apparently I was 6 weeks premature, and my birth weight was actually very similar to Jaden's.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
I came on the. I think
a
I came on the day.
I'll have it. Oh, on the day was it?
On the day, yeah. Okay, but my mum said I was It was like, I think it was almost 18 hours she was in labor. She was like,
Whoa.
yeah. So she was not happy with that.
Your dad must have been loving it, bro. The geezer must have been down the pub the whole time.
Yeah, well, that God knows, man. But yeah,
I mean, assuming your dad drinks, and back in the day, I know it was
no, this was, I was born in India as well, so they don't do things like that in India.
Were you?
Yeah, I was born in India, so yeah, there's definitely no pubs around the corner. I was born in Surat.
No way.
Yeah.
So when did was that just a holiday for mum and dad, or like did
no?
I
was living there.
No, he was born and bred.
I was born
until the age of 18. Till he started
18.
No, but it was about 8 or 9.
Your English is very good, bro.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you. It's an AI technology that I've just applied onto this.
He's put a lot on.
I was about 8 or 9 when I came in, so it was like pretty much done all my schooling here as well. And when I was in India, like we did the English schooling as well, so it was not much different really. It's just family all there still as well, so it's a bit different. But yeah,
fair play, man. You'd never think it, honestly. Like,
I know, right?
I'd think more of Bhav to be born in India than you.
I know. When you meet him face to face here, that's when you'll realize it. Just meet him face to face. Let this be done, right?
It's when you go for a meal with me, I think, as you realize like this guy is
definitely
having chili. He's having green chili with like lasagna, or like having green chili with pasta. It's like, it's a bit weird. It's just like some parts of me don't change.
Yeah, can't take him to an Indian restaurant, man.
Why?
Just everything, innit? Just want to say, oh, that's it. Like, everything chili, please. Everything extra spicy. No matter what it is extra spicy.
I think I've converted him to eating a bit of spicy food as well now, to be fair, which is quite nice.
Is it?
Yeah.
I used to eat a lot of spicy food when I was younger, and then over the past 5 years, I just can't do it anymore, man.
This is like extreme spice. Like, this is like my dad's type spice. Like, honestly, we went to India for a wedding, and is at the Pani Puri counter asking the guy to make them extra spicy, right? I'm like, what? I didn't even know this could happen, right? Extra spicy Pani, and going at it, like, literally at least, I'd say about 50 back to back, and no word of a lie.
The thing is, like, when you go to India, right, if you don't drink, like, you don't drink tap water, but like, if you got to eat on the street, otherwise you kind of miss out on the good stuff. So every time I've been going back,
that's what my missus says.
Like,
it's a favorite.
It's the life.
It's a staple, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so good, man. Yeah.
D, have you got any questions for us? Because, like, you know, we're getting very close.
This is your opportunity, bro.
This is your time to get them out there.
You know, I actually wrote a few things down, actually.
He came prepared.
a little bit, actually. Yeah, so what is there anything that you forgot to take? Because I know we don't have time to sit down and go through all the stuff you might have packed, or I guess in Jay's scenario, probably like quite last minute. Do
you know what? For me, the only thing that I would have appreciated was like a snack bag of my own. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's good.
For me, as I say, I was fortunate that because it was a late night arrival, I was able to stay with them for like 10 hours, whereas most people were being bounced out after an hour and a half, 2 hours. So for that sense, it was just the amount of time that, like, I didn't even have a glass of water or anything, do you know what I mean? Let alone a bag of crisps. So that was really it. But the fact, like, right now, when you go in, you're able to walk in and out, or is it once you're in, you're in?
I think we go tomorrow morning for a appointment again, so probably would ask a question at that point. But I think, as far as I'm aware, I think we can be in full stop. I think before it was like she's got to be a certain centimeter dilated, and then you can go in.
Yeah.
Whereas I think now it's.
But you know, like, once you've gone in, to reduce like the in and out and mixing with other people, have they said like once you're in, you can't go out, otherwise you can't come back in? Or
I don't know about that. I think there'll probably a question for them tomorrow. Probably a one I'll write down, actually, just in case I forget.
And the only reason why I asked, I doubt you smoke or you vape or anything, but for me, I'm a vapor, and for that reason, I was just clucking by the time I got out.
Yeah, no, it's probably a sensible question, to be fair, because, I mean, going back to the pub thing, there's actually an Indian snack shop around the corner from the hospital. So, and they do they do the best like parotas and samosas like you'd ever have, right? So I've got my eyes on that, so I'm just hoping that they do let me go out.
You better get written consent like, from Nim to say, yeah, you're allowed out for those 5 minutes to go and get something.
Just remind us what area of the country you're from.
I'm near Bedford.
Right, cool.
So Bedford, there's next to the hospital. There's a really good London Sweet something. I don't even know the name of the place, but I know they do some really good samosas. I've been there before several times. So when I saw that on the map, I was like, that is the place where you get the samosas from. That's great. It's funny to say about snack, because that's one thing that I was like tempted. I was like, why have you bought like all these snacks? Because we packed some as well, and she's been collecting some. I was just saying to us, no, you don't need that. You know, you get some food there. But then I just realized that obviously hospital food isn't going to be like the best, and she probably won't be eating much.
Well, that's the thing, right? But those snacks are mainly, to be honest, are going to be for you. Because I took snacks along, but then it got to a point where I was really hungry, and it was like in the middle of the pandemic, so I didn't really want to go venturing in the whole hospital. I was about to say hotel there, the whole hospital, looking for something to, a cafe that's open or getting a sandwich or something. I just called home. And I spoke to her mom. I was like, "Can you make me some lunch and get Dad to drop it off?"
Yeah, but it's different when you live like 3 minutes away from the hospital.
Literally, well, that's the benefit, right? I was so close. So they sent like a whole whole massive, sent like sandwiches, coffee, everything ready, right? So I was like, "This is perfect."
Bob's had it too good, bruv.
Honestly,
it was too good.
You can't if you can't.
This is why he still lives at home, innit? And he don't want to move out.
This is why he's gaining weight every day. Look,
cheeky.
But, do you know, there's been a couple of weeks, right, where I say to Reshma as well, like, you know what, Bath gets some service at home, bruv. Like, he gets a cooked lunch and everything.
Let's move on to the next one.
Then she proper gives me a grilling,
3-course meal.
They're proper sending messages, right? They're proper having these proper debates between him and his wife. They're sending us messages like, who gets up which day to give Kaylin breakfast, who cooks who lunch, who does this. Because
there's a story behind this, There's a story behind this, right? So basically, on Sunday night, Reshma was trying to sleep. She couldn't sleep. She said she was up till 3-4 in the morning. I was up till at least 3 in the morning. Obviously, Monday morning, you wake up, you got work to do, innit? And obviously, over the weekend, now that I've bought the Forza Horizon 4, and I've got the steering wheel, I've just been banging that out the weekend. So I didn't get any work done. So on Monday, I was thinking, all right, cool, I'll wake up early, I'll get on with work. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that I've got a deadline that day. So literally, like, I've woken up to do that. It's probably about just after 9. And the first thing Reshma does is turn around and she's like, can you feed him? I'm so tired. I can't do it right now. He must be hungry and that. I can see him sitting there, like, just, playing around. So I'm thinking in my head, like, for God's sake, Monday morning, how are you going to ask me to feed him breakfast on a Monday morning of all things? Yeah, obviously kept my mouth shut and did it. Like, fed him, changed him, put his cream on and all that, and then I took him back out, and then she went back to sleep with him. And then later on that night, I was like, or the next morning, I was like, well, if you do realize you can't pull a maneuver like that in it on a Monday morning, you can't do that to me. It's just not right.
That's
and
hard,
then,
man. That's hard.
Then she was like, Barvish feeds Kanan every day. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Barvish only feeds him at the weekends, and even that's going to be a stretch, And she was like, no, watch, I'm going to message him, innit? And so she puts it in a group between us. And guess, bro, do you know what the funniest thing was? The person that replied was Bav, and he was like, nah, I barely feed him, bro. And he's lucky if I do it at the weekends.
Literally.
You were saved.
You threw her under the bus one time, bro.
I can't do any weekdays. It doesn't. Timings won't work, right? I won't even make it to work. I won't even start work by 11 if I feed him on a weekday, right? But weekends I try. Most weekends Saturday, Sunday. It depends. Sometimes my man wakes up at like 5:30 and won't go back to bed. I'm like, mate, we can't have this, man. We need to be.
Jason's there now, man.
I'm like,
he's waking up between 4 and 5.
That's probably tricky, man. It's quite a hard thing to do, to be fair, when you're like waking up super early for feeds and then work at the same time. That must be quite tricky, man.
Well, the thing is, like, after this whole conversation, I said to Reshma, I was like, brother, you're gonna need to get up early, yeah. I was like, you got to realize if you want to start sending him nursery, yeah, you're gonna have to get up to go and drop him off. And she went, nah, but when I start working, you're gonna be dropping him off. I went, yeah, but what about the settling in weeks? That, you know, that 2 weeks where you've got to go and settle him in. And she was like, oh, okay, you got a point in it.
Have you guys found any nurseries?
Yeah. We've signed him up. He's going to go to the nursery, so Bright Stars Nursery, which is literally just opposite, like across the road. So it's
fine.
not
So you
even
can walk down and.
It's literally a walk, yeah, man, like 4-minute walk.
Oh, how many days in the week does he?
So this was a big question for us. Initially, we were contemplating about 3 full days, and we were going to do like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It comes up to a cost of about 900 quid. Fine, like whatever. We've got to write it off. He's got to go. But the fact is, like obviously weddings have picked up recently, and then I was like, you know what? If he's at home on a Friday, you lot have already told me, as in like mum, dad, and Reshma, that if he's at home, then they're not really flexible enough to look after him. Do you know what I mean? In the work that they have or that they do, which means that Mr. Self-Employed just has to work around it. You know what I mean? But I was like, if I do get a booking on a Friday, you know, it's worth like, let's just say it's worth a portion of his like, you know, month's fee. So it makes sense for me to do it. And I was like, do you know what? Let's just play it safe. Let's put him in for 2 half days, Monday, Tuesday. So we, you know, those afternoons, like Reshma's going to do a half day, my mum will do a half day, and realistically, I'm around anyway. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, he's going to go in full time. It just means that we've got a little bit of flexibility in that, because what we didn't realize at the time, and obviously it makes sense when I'll tell you in a minute, but when you sign up to the nursery, you sign up to certain fixed dates. And then obviously around that, they will fill and add other like placements for children around that, depending on availability. So you have to stick and commit to the same days every week. Do you know what I mean? Which, you know, in your first like port of call, you don't really think about it like that. You think, oh, maybe if, you know, 1 week I can do these days, the next week I can do these days. It doesn't work like that. So your days are all fixed. You need to make sure that you've got it all in check. And so this is now ended up costing me another 300-400 quid. Yeah. So, you know, we're just over 1,200 quid, and that's what it's got to be. We've got to bite the bullet. But at the end of the day, it's down the road. Everything's covered off. And, you know, it's a part of his life, like, especially with him being so, like, anxious and stressed out with meeting other people. Like, it's something we definitely want to get him into sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's good. I guess it's probably going to help him, like, development side as well. Probably be really, really useful for him. Really
yeah,
good.
man.
I think that's the main key, right, to nurseries is the development and interaction with other kids, and, you know, just becoming more of a confident person in general.
But you know, like you said, kids so under 3 years old. Yeah. For kids under 3 years old, you're actually paying an extra surcharge as well.
Yeah, I know. But I didn't realize I kind of knew that you had to kind of do the set days, but I thought they could be interchangeable, like a little slight bit. But they're like, no, we need at least a month's notice for you to.
And even if you want to flex up and like you need them to go in for an additional half day, you can request.
But they said that's a bit more flexible than it is taking away, which I totally understand, right? From a business point of view, if people say, no, let's all do half a day, 3 days a week, and then they still start ringing up, no, let's do this and let's do that and let's increase it, that's where it becomes a bit more kind of long for them. So I get where they're coming from. But for us, that first time doing it, you know, first kid and everything, you have to be quite prepared for it and be like, okay, how many days do we want to do? So
but be smart about it and don't be like cheap about it, because the thing is, the only person that's going to suffer in the long term is yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I think that you got to find the right balance, I guess, isn't it? I mean, I wouldn't want to send my child to nursery all 5 days. I think that I would want to spend that time, because
definitely.
You know, I think the working from home side of it is probably, you know, I mean, it's going to probably stick.
You know what? Yeah, you say that, right?
Week.
You say that, yeah. Wait till 6 months comes, you'll turn around. I bet you'll message one of us and be like, do you know what? Working from home isn't working for me anymore, bro.
When we bring him back on, we'll ask him these questions.
Yeah. I'll be like, I'm going to be working out 5 days a week. I'm going to the office every day.
So
good.
Did you find out, obviously, when you first came on, like it was too early for us to ask you whether you found out the sex of the baby. So have you guys found out since?
Yes, we have. Yes, we are having a girl.
Congratulations, man.
So, we literally found out straight away. Yeah, and I think I almost screamed when we found out, and my wife was like, Nim was like really like calm. She's like, calm down. It's like it's just like me and her inside this room, and this midwife just sitting there like on a chair. She's like, "You having a girl?" And I was just like, "Yes!" And obviously, like my wife was just sat there. She's like, "You can't celebrate here." We obviously, because I said to her from the start, I said, "I think it's going to be a girl," and whereas she was like, she thought it was going to be a boy. So to be fair, neither of us really cared what it was going to be. To be fair, but she kind of like start visualizing her life with a boy, because that's what she thought she was going to have. So it kind of came to her as a bit of a shock. She was like, "Oh my god, we're having a girl! Oh my god!" And then she got really excited about what dresses she's going to buy and all that kind of stuff. It's insane.
Have you bought any like outfits for the little one then?
Yeah, I feel like she's got more clothes than me now, which it doesn't take a lot, to be fair. But
it happens. It happens within the first month if it doesn't before that, man.
Yeah, I mean, we had like because of COVID, we've had to have like, she's had several different baby showers with friends and with her family, then with my family, and then and then every time she has it, she comes back with like so much stuff and like presents and just clothes, and I'm like, this is insane. This is like, and then you buy some stuff that we want to buy, and it's just like, this adds up. It's just too much.
What I will say, I think for the first couple of months, especially like from 0 to 3 months, you definitely have enough clothing, because a lot of people gift you clothing and things like that as well, like baby grows and stuff, right? I think what we found is that the 3 to 6 months and the 6 months to 9 months, like I've definitely noticed that as he's grown, we've gotten less, and then it just feels like everything is always in the wash. So like if people have given you enough to get you by for now, one thing I'll definitely say is like, if anyone is bringing you stuff like, and with gift receipts, then maybe don't like, use all of it up and then change some of it for some, a bit older.
That's a good idea.
We did that with some of the stuff that was gifted to us. Do you know what I mean? Even if it was just the same.
Yeah, same thing, just bigger size. We had a couple of people do that for us, because now, look, he's a year old. To be fair, we've not even had to like go to the shops and buy anything, because like everyone just brings so many clothes.
That's what I mean. Every now and again, you go on JD Sports and you're like, I want to buy him something, innit?
No, that's the thing. Obviously, his birthday's coming up next week, so I'm online looking at stuff and like, can I buy him this or should I buy him that? And I'm like, but what size do I get him? Because I don't want to get him something, sits in the cupboard, he wears it once, and then that's it. I'm like, this makes no sense. And they're not cheap clothes.
No,
like, if you want something decent, you're looking at some serious money. Like, you wouldn't even spend that on your clothes, and you're like, bro, what's going on here? This is not normal.
Insane.
Like, I was looking at some tracksuits yesterday. And honestly, some of them are like
25, 30 quid.
No, £114 tracksuit. Yeah. I was on.
You got too much time on your hands if you found the tracksuits that expensive.
I was being a bit silly, right? I was. What was I? No. My sister. I'm going to go through these comments in a minute, but it's all right. You can still buy them wherever you want. What's that? Child's Play. That website for clothes, right? Child's Play. Right, go on it. Like, all designer clothes, right, for kids, right? So I thought, let me have a little browse, right? Let me see what's on there. And there's like these tracksuits, and they're like £140, and I'm like, what? And some are going up to like 300. Let's not get.
But can I question you directly on this? Is would you even buy it and spend that much money for your kid to wear it like once or twice?
Nah. But then don't hold me to it, because you might see him in something. Like, I don't know, man. He's only one. This is the conversation I'm having at home at the moment. It's like he's only turning one like once, right? It's his first birthday, and that's why I'm a bit. But also, you have to rein it in as well and be like, seriously, don't. But then I don't know. I get a bit excited. You might just I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know
Might
next
just
week. What I
happen.
ended up,
Might just
but
happen.
I'll tell you next week what I ended up buying. Right? So let's see what happens.
I mean, all right. So let's give Bob a hand here. Yeah, he's looking for a couple of gifts for his kid. The kid's turning 1, first birthday. Bob, what are the choices that you're thinking of? And let's see if anyone will give us some answers in the comments to see what they actually recommend.
So a couple of things we have. So we're thinking of baby-ators, right?
Baby what?
Baby-ators, right? So they're sunglasses.
Aviators for baby. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Baby-ators.
Baby-ators. Honestly, trust me, they look so good as well.
Right? This is Barish Popat's kid. I knew this was going to happen.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, honestly, the best sunglasses.
Just to put it into context for the people watching, price range.
They're not bad actually. Like £20, £22.
I'd spend that.
Yeah, it's not bad. I wanted to get a snapback, and I thought you might be able to help me. If you can find me one, like a good one as well, then let me know, because I can't find anything half decent for kids.
The hat store, thehatstore.com or something.
See, I had a look on there. I couldn't see anything half decent.
Wow.
But then I might have to go.
They are a bit younger at that age. Do you know what I mean?
That's the point. It's because they're too young as well. So maybe when he's a couple of years, I can definitely get some. Because he likes mine. He puts my hat on all the time. He finds it in the room and he puts it on himself. I'm like, right, cool.
What are the other options?
Well, so we're looking at one of those little tricycle trike kind of ones.
Those push along ones where you push it.
Yeah, and then you stop that.
You steer
it. Then he starts to do it himself. So looking at that. What else did we look at? Wanted to get him a water bottle with a straw. Like, the ones we have as adults, like those kind of ones, because he just goes and drinks Priya's water all the time from there, but he always drinks his own. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, fine. What else are we looking at? Oh,
your sister's saying he's 1, bruv. He doesn't need anything amazing.
See, again, I also don't know if it's her or Sanj, because I'm when she says no thanks, I'll spend it on Sanj.
That makes me think that was Sanj.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if he's. But you say that he's 1, but he's gonna think about. He's gonna ask me like, "What did I get for my first birthday?" So I don't want to buy him too much, also, right? Or you want to balance it out. But like the only other thing we were looking at, electric car. Yeah, see, that's a nut. See,
that's really good.
That's the other thing. Jay, is the car. What do we do?
I've totally forgotten about these comments.
It won't happen this week.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I totally forgot about these comments.
Basically, we were donated an electric ride-on car that will fit 2 kids in, and at the moment, Bav is storing it. But the idea is that we uprate the battery and we make it remote control so that we can steer it while the kids sit in it.
That sounds pretty good, man.
We should get that up. And nice Lambo, 150 for a nice Lambo. Nick, are you donating one, Nick? Because if you are, drop it around when you're free.
But do you know what? Like, in fairness, if you were looking for stuff like that, like on Facebook Marketplace, people are selling a lot of things that are similar to that Lambo thing for like 50 to £100.
Yeah.
And let's face it, like,
so much out. How long are they going to use it for as well?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the point. That's why I get a bit like, well, I don't want to spend £200 on something like that's going to be used for 6 months.
That's why you buy the remote control one, innit? So you can play with it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm waiting.
I can see that happening. On a sunny day, Babish pop out rolling out in a baby Lambo.
I've got some small remote control cars that I'm waiting for it to get a little bit older, understand what he needs to do so he can go outside and just do what he wants with them. They're already there. They're already ready for him to play with. He's not allowed to play with the boxed up ones, just the ones that are out ready. Yeah. And the only other thing we looked at were the baby socks, but the shoes. So they're like for him to like that basically, because he now doesn't want to crawl anywhere, just wants to walk. So we're like, okay, but he don't like walking in his shoes because he feels a bit weird in there.
Yeah, your boy's a barefoot boy, bruv. He loves being barefoot.
Yeah,
did he start wearing shoes? Has he started wearing shoes yet? Then, or is he?
Well, he got some nice Adidas trainers as well, man.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. What age did he start wearing shoes then? Or like trainers?
Probably a few months now.
A few months now.
Probably about 7, 8 months in, 9 months maybe. It depends when it fits their feet. And we only literally he was just on for decoration, like just on his feet, right? Because when he's not going to be walking around, he's not crawling anywhere initially, so it was just there. But now, because he can walk, he's not. But he can't go out. He doesn't like going outside in them, so he won't walk outside at all. He's only walking in the house. So we want to get him somewhere he feels comfortable, where he can go outside and walk around in the garden and stuff.
The thing is, even I bought Jaden some like Air Max 90s for infants, right? I literally, bro, I bought them maybe like when he was 2 months old, right? And I waited so long for him to put them on. And I even bought myself a pair of Air Max 90s, and I was like, we'll put them on together. Do you know what I mean? Bro, they fit him now. He's worn them twice. He's probably going to grow out of them in the next month. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
but they also say like these shoes, like these kind of trainers and stuff, aren't good for them in terms of when they're walking and stuff anyway.
Yeah, but these aren't trainers. These are the booties, the soft ones.
Yeah, the ones you're going to put as your on your in your car, right?
Yeah, basically
on your rear view mirror. Yeah,
they're gonna go around the rear view mirror and chill in the car. I might put his name on them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Actually, it's quite a good memento, I guess, isn't it? The only thing that I really wanted to get for a little one before she comes was a baby grow. So my sister actually went and got one like from Etsy. She got one designed that said "We are Groot" on it. I think that was just like the best thing. I had to have a Marvel related baby grow.
Yeah, I was just gonna say to you, like, what are you into in it, and what do you want to like carry forward with your kid?
I think the things that Harry Potter I think is quite big in my family, but Marvel is also like definitely up there. And both me and my wife are both into the Marvel side of it. So like and she loves Groot, so I'm like, it's just calling for like a matching family like outfit or T-shirt. Yeah, let's see, man.
Let me know, man. We can hook that up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, definitely bear that in mind, man. 100%.
Do you know what the funny thing is? Like, I made like Jaden a couple of T-shirts when he was really small, but ever since, because we've been so like short of time, and I haven't tried other baby grows and like blanks that I've got here, it's been so difficult. But I really want to get back on that, man. So, Bob, give me some inspiration, bro. We'll bag some T-shirts out in the next couple of weeks.
Down.
They go for some serious money on Etsy, man. It's like £8-9 for like a baby grow. That's a lot of money.
I had a question about this Etsy, right?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, like anything I search now on Google, Etsy's first on the list. Where did this ever come out? Because I don't remember it. Like a few years back,
Etsy's been there for time.
But I think Amazon is like your go-to still. But I think it's like if you want anything customized.
But but Etsy's the customized. It's the individual sellers. There's quite a few of them. Yes, eBay was doing it to an extent, but Etsy's taking it over now. And anything I search for. Literally, I've obviously Google searched a lot in the last few weeks for like presents and stuff. It's just Etsy, and I'm like, where did this place even come from? Like, it's so so many different people selling on there, so many different things. It's just going for it.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. We haven't really used it much ourselves, but family have been hammering out these.
Their service is sick. Like deliveries, like day or two, and it's there. So yeah on point. Wow, we're coming towards the end of our show. But we've got a couple of quick questions for you, which we thought we'd ask you. Go on.
I got one. Give me 3 things that you value in life.
Time, food, and my wife for now.
Do you know what? They're very good. He's played it safe, but we'll ask you.
I know she's watching.
Yeah, you've seen the comments.
I just realized the comments. Watching. Yeah, exactly.
But like specifically, I wanted to ask you that question because I'm confident that in 6 months' time you'll come back with a very different answer. Do you know what I mean?
You know what? These 3 things.
Ask you next week. It'll be very different.
Next week, I'll probably change. But to be fair, I've always thought like health, time, and food is definitely always up there for me. Like, just gotta stay fit. I
thought
he was going to say I gotta stay fed.
Stay fed. Yeah, that's probably good.
Before we move on to that, just on that point, before we move on to the next question, I know you're doing a charity run, 100 miles over May. How is that getting on?
It's good actually. You know what? I've had like a house move, and then we've had a year end. So it's been like baby prep as well. So it's been pretty tough last few weeks. But to be fair with you, it's actually good in a way, because it's like a good little time out. And where we are with the family, we're literally middle of nowhere, and the runs are so like scenic and like a lot of nature. So it's just good like time out and refresh. And I've reached about 60k so far out of the 100. So we've got about 10 days left. So
40k move on.
Yeah,
just in case baby comes anytime soon.
That's
It's meant
do you know
to.
what?
Get that move on.
I did a 10k yesterday, and my knees have been in so much pain and agony. But you know what? It's for charity, man. It can't let down a charity, right? If it's for fun, it's different. But we've hit the goal as well. We've hit our £1,000 goal now. So it's it's for mental health organisation. So yeah, maybe
drop the link into the comment section as well, so anyone watching can donate. Put you and 3 of the other boys from uni are doing it. So good on you boys, and I hope you boys complete it very soon.
Cheers. Thank you.
What's your biggest fear as a parent to be? What were you scared of the most?
I think just like making sure that she's happy. I think I want to make sure she's the happiest person alive, really. And if a day goes by and she's not, and then you feel like you are to blame for that, I think that's probably like a concern. But I don't know. I think it's a bit too early to say, really. But at the moment, I'm just so excited and partially nervous about her coming.
Do you know what? Take the time, enjoy it. Obviously, I'm sure you'll have some time to yourself while your partner's in labor. Fingers crossed everything goes to the birth plan and what you have envisaged. If there's one question that you could ask, what would it be right now? Like one final question.
What would you do differently in the birthing room? Or what would you? How would you? Is there anything else you could potentially have done differently or taken with you that could have helped you? What's your advice for me to go in there with? What kind of mind frame, or I don't know, like
ask them beforehand whether you're allowed to use your phone for pictures, video, and things like that, because depending on the actual hospital, they all feel differently about it. Where we went, they were like, we don't want you to use your phone. I think Barv, you said they were happy for you to use your phone.
As soon as the baby was born, the midwife took out a phone and took a selfie with us. I'm talking as soon as she was like, do you mind if we take a selfie? And I'm like, I don't mind. I looked at Priya and she's like, no, I don't mind. Like, yeah, let's go with it. But yeah, some people like at different places, different times.
Okay, that's a good one, actually. I'll write that one down.
To be honest, enjoy that time you have in there. Yes, you've got to be there for your wife, but also enjoy it yourself. It all comes down to what time you go in as well, right? Because if you're there through the day, you're awake and you're through it. For us, it was like halfway through the night. So actually, the first few hours were like, we were both really tired, or she was extra tired. I was just tired. Generally, had a little nap. There wasn't much going on. They had to put on a drip, so they kind of sped up the process. But it didn't go according to the birthing plan whatsoever. Totally the opposite direction in a sense. Not too far off, but it wasn't where she wanted water to birth and all that kind of whatever. All that kind of stuff she wanted. Didn't really get that. It was just plain simple, gas in there, wait for it to happen, and time just goes by. But enjoy that time you're in there. Try and communicate with each other.
Maybe it's probably a slightly like a branching off. Just before we finish off, is what did you do when her water, like the water burst? Like, did you? Yeah. What did
we didn't get to that stage. So above.
Oh, so how did you? This was like the night before we even went in. Water broke, and this is like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2:30, 3. Fast asleep, don't even know what's going on, and then all I hear is that, or not even hear, all I feel is like this nudge, and I'm like, what's just happened there? She's like, water's broke. I was like, okay, cool, calm.
Did you wake her up then?
Yeah. So like woke her up. She just literally been to the toilet, came back. She's like, okay, water broke. need to do something. I was like, all right, cool, calm. Let's call them up. You have to keep calm, right? You can't panic in the whole thing, right? Call up the hospital, and their words were, look, it's, don't worry about it. Come in at 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Just try and sleep it off, kind of thing. Just sleep through it. So I was like, that's a bit strange. But they said, look, nothing's going to happen, unless you feel any different or, something else comes out, etc. You see something different, then definitely come in or call us straight away. But if everything's cool, just come back in 8:30, 9 o'clock, first thing in the morning, because they say the contractions don't start till 12 to 24 hours after that. So if we went in the morning and then had a long day afterwards because we had to go back and forth a couple of times. But other than that, it was quite, at that point,
so the contraction started 8 to 12 hours after the water broke.
I think for her, it started about 12, 15 hours after the water broke.
Oh, wow. That's
15, 16. Yeah. So that whole period is like, you don't know what's going on. Yes, you've got to monitor things, but you don't really know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Then the contraction started. Then we went in a couple of times and they were like, no, not ready, come back. And luckily for us, because we're around the corner, you could just go back and forth. There's no issue, right? Like, it's like a 2-minute journey. I'm there. And then we went back in.
That's taxi as well, so you ain't got to worry about parking.
No, we just because I weren't allowed in, right? So I'm just sitting in the car waiting, doing nothing. So it was just like, go in. She has to go in on her own. I'm not even allowed to go anywhere, right? So it was just sit there, wait. That taxi was used only for food purposes, like delivery service, basically. While I'm in there, like, please, I need food, man. There's nothing, you don't know. You ain't touching that stuff.
Do you know what? I guess the easiest way to put it is, it's not what happens, it's what you do next. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good way.
I think a lot of people, like, I try and live life that way, in the sense that a lot of people know what the problem is, but focus on the problem and don't look for the solution thereafter. Do you know what I mean? So I think the easiest way to look at it is going to be that, in look at what you've got to do next. We already know what the issue is. So
and just stay calm through it. Like, don't panic. Even if you're panicking in your brain, don't show it out there, right? Just keep calm through the whole. And you're quite calm anyway as a person, so you're not really gonna. You don't need to stress about it.
No, exactly.
What's gonna happen. So
yeah.
Well, we are looking forward to this. We're looking forward to meeting her very, very soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be any time now. But there's funny you say that. There's gonna be a full moon next week, Thursday, I think it is, 26th of May. And they say that's like gravitational pull. And all of that. It's yes.
Well, you say that, like, even this morning we had a message through to say that one of Rashma's cousins had given birth to a baby boy. So there's another boy in the family, mate. Jaden is now a big brother.
Congrats.
Sick.
Yeah, man.
Congrats, man. That's awesome. Great news.
This is it, mate. A family full of boys, bro. This must be something in the water.
Definitely, I think it's this time of the year, man. It is what it is, isn't it? It's just one of them things. Thanks a lot, guys, for giving me the advice and taking me through your experiences. It's been really helpful. Adding on to my notes.
No, it's our pleasure, man. It is our pleasure. As we said, we want to have you back again in the future. I think we'll give you a few months just to get settled in before we do. In the meantime, if there's anything you need, hit us up. If you got a question, we'll put it out. Do you know what I mean?
Awesome.
But no, again, appreciate your time. I know we're a little bit last minute. And as Priya says, you're going to be a great dad. So, like Bhavish, stay calm, because Nim needs to stay calm.
Yeah, 100%. That's really good advice. Thanks, guys. Luckily for me, I think it's in my nature. But if I need some more advice, I'll give you guys a ring for sure.
No, I think if you need it, you know where the phone is.
There's another girl coming in.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Outnumbered. He's been outnumbered for a while with the girls. So yeah, let him be outnumbered.
Yeah,
so he deserves it.
All through my life. So yeah, bring it on. I'm ready.
But no, if you need anything, give us a shout, and we'll have you back on the show very, very soon once she's arrived, and you can tell us all about it. Yeah,
definitely, 100%, man. Until then, I'll be practice my breathing with them.
That's it.
And whale music. So yeah, it's gonna keep us going for the next couple of weeks.
Wait, we're getting into something else.
Just go to Spotify and type in hypnobirthing music. That's what you need to do. You have a good night's sleep every day.
When the baby arrives, what you'll be typing is white noise.
White noise, yeah, that's it.
Oh, man.
On that note, I just want to say thanks again, both gents, for your time. Everyone that's watched and followed on today, please do like, share, and follow. And we will speak to you next week. Mr. B, is there anything left from you?
No, see you guys next week, and good night.
I guess, Dhyan, I just want to say good luck once more. Wish you guys all the very best. And on that note, this has been HinduDad, podcast for dads. Good night.